I am the truth beyond the lies. I come for those both lame and wise. I am the calm among the cries, the last thing seen by dying eyes. I am the truth beyond the lies. I am the waiting cloak of black. I come for those both lame and wise, the one who takes your final breath. I am the calm among the cries. I am the unforeseen attack, the song you hear before your death. I will not be defied. 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 I am the raging storm of fire, the one who comes from up above. I am the blaze that rises higher, burning peace and common love. I am the whistle of the air, the one who settles all disputes. I weave fire into my hair, tips of gold to blackened roots. I will not be defied. I will not be defied. I will not be defied. I will not be defied.
I am the voice when all are gone, I who gathers up your bones. I am far the oldest one, the beast who wanders all alone. I keep visions safe and sound, those both lost and to be found. I will be there with none around, recording time deep in my ground. I will not be defied. I will not be defied. I will not be defied. I will not be defied.
No, sorry. I wasn't supposed to be unmuted yet. Sorry about that. My my fucking headphones on. Princess Leia. Alright, so greetings. Welcome to another one of these streams in which I have no plan and I ramble for a while. But actually this is on the 13th. It was the anniversary for the release of the book. It's 2-year anniversary. So I was going to do a stream on that day, but, you know, fucking life happened, and unfortunately we suffered a bit of a loss in the family. So I decided to postpone it to, you know, today. So we're just going to pretend that this is the anniversary, which it is, and I'll answer some questions, and I'll you know, talk about the obviously the first book, but I'll give you some updates on the second book, and also what else is there? Oh, I might actually, in the later half, I might talk about, like, you know, the book in a bit more detail and answer some questions that might be spoilery. But I'll put a warning up for anyone who joins, and anyone who doesn't want the book to be spoiled can leave, because I mean it's been out for 2 years, so I mean it'd be nice to talk about it. Jolly Jerry, $5, happy anniversary, thank you very much. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to... Well, I am actually going to start off by having myself a prawn cracker.
Did you order those earlier?
What's that?
Did you order those today?
Yeah, you want one?
Yeah.
Come over here, Carmen. Come and collect some. Now, Carmen. You can pick any one you want, Carmen.
They're all the same.
No, they're all slightly different. There you go. You just want one?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to eat the rest. Anticipate your hunger.
I got walnuts.
Okay. Right. So, right. So let's start. So, the book came out 2 years ago, and obviously you're probably thinking, like, you know, where's the second one? Well, the second one is actually being written like now. I'm making a lot of good progress with it, especially this year so far. So I think the most realistic timeline is I will definitely finish it this year. Based on, you know, the progress that I've made so far. It could be released this year. I don't want to make any promises. Amygdala's release was actually delayed by 3 months because I was dealing with a company that was doing all the sort of technical side of things. They were really great to start with, but toward the end, when I wanted some fine tuning, like easy things that were just like, can you move this illustration there or whatever the fuck, it took them fucking weeks to do it. To the point where
it took them like 2 weeks to send you back something with no changes.
Yeah, and then, you know, they'd eventually get back to me and the changes weren't done, and I actually had to track down who their editor was and contact him directly and say, listen, can you do it? And he had it done that morning. I've since, you know, started just working with him directly, so now I'm doing everything myself because I don't want to go through that again. So if things go well, like smooth with absolutely no delays, then it could very much come out this year. However, I always anticipate some delays. You know, you never know what's going to happen with regards to, you know the publishing process and the technicalities, and this is a much bigger book.
Just general life stuff.
Yeah, so Amygdala was 28 chapters. The second book is 42 chapters. But I've written like over January I wrote 5 chapters, which is pretty good. So if you do the math, it will be done this year. This is the plan for book 2. So like every single chapter has been planned out in meticulous detail. So I mean, I know exactly what I'm doing and where I'm going with every plot line. I've even color coded bits so I know like what links to what. This is something I didn't have when I was writing the first book. What I did with Amygdala was I wrote 2 books basically. I wrote the original Amygdala, which was about, you know, fucking 300,000 words. I would say maybe 2% of that made it to publishing because I read through that and I realized that it was shit. The essence was there, but the quality of voice wasn't. And so I basically rewrote the entire book from beginning to end using my original version as a plan. And obviously the version that was actually published, the version that you can get now, is completely different. With the second book, I learned from that, and I decided to just go straight in with a full book plan. So every chapter and every sub-chapter has a lot of detail in it. So you know, I know where I'm going with it, and you know, it's sort of impossible for me to get lost in the weeds. And I've been making great progress. so there will also be a lot more illustrations. I can show you some of them now. All two illustrations. So what I'll do is I'll show you one of Lucy's illustrations for the second book. This is her first illustration in chapter 2. I'll talk a bit about that. Right, I'll move myself here. Perfect. So this is Lucy's design going into the second book. For the first book, obviously she was young, she matured, she's undergone some changes. I figured that the second book was a good opportunity to catch up with how she looks now. I purposefully didn't do an illustration for her in Act 3 of Amygdala because I wanted to leave a blank period where she's sort of filled in and, her hair's gotten a bit longer. She's settled into her shape, which has given us the excuse to sort of add a few more interesting elements to her design and really finish her off in a cool way. So some of the changes include a lot more chest fluff, like just really strengthening the shape. A bigger diamond around the eye. The biggest change, of course, would be the hair. I wanted to give her more of a mane, something that she could actually style. One thing that you'll notice in the book is that as the book goes on, the character hair lengths do get longer. So with Lucy, you can see that at the beginning of the book, she has very short hair, almost like a pixie cut. And then by the end of the book, her last illustration, she has it just coming down to her shoulders. And then in book 2, it's down here, and she's got a bit more colour in it now. So it's a natural evolution of the design. That's where we're at with Lucy. Another illustration that I can show you. Oh, that's the original thing back there. Another illustration that I can show you is a new character, which I don't have. Fuck. Cameron, could you send me that again? I thought it was in this folder. Where is it?
Well, my hard drive kind of yoinked itself, so I would have to grab it. I'm just going to the book 2 update.
Someone find it to me and send it to me on Discord. I know. Well, actually, fuck. If I say someone, everyone will do it. Lewis, you do it.
Lewis has shit to do.
Because Lewis already saved the stream once tonight. You'll see why. So Lewis can save the stream again. Do it. Or I'll send you Freddie Benson. Right. So we're just waiting on that illustration. Yes, Lewis, do it.
Thank you, Lewis.
Lewis is my Lixian.
Edit explosion.
Yeah.
Every time we shoot off. We gotta continue watching that, by the way.
Yes, of course. So we'll just stand by. Oh, hang on. I'll probably read some of these here. There's one here from. Oh God, I hope they load. Then perish. Oh, of course. Are you ever thinking of doing book signings? I would literally punt Lucy for a chance to get your autograph. Yes, actually, for the first time ever, one of my friends, Amy, she's Beauty of the Base online. She's actually doing an event this year in August. It's like it's a furry event, but I won't hold that against her. But
I will.
I'll be there. We're gonna have our own tent. We're gonna have some Kivik sort of decorations, and if you want to say hello or get a book signed or whatever, or buy some stuff like merchandise, we will be there. The event is called Core Element. So you can. I retweeted it on my Twitter, so you can find that there. So I will actually be there. I think Lewis has sent me the thing. Yes, thank you, Lewis. Oh, hello, Lewis. Right. So, round of applause for Lewis, ladies and gentlemen.
I love all the comments that are just like, the beauty of the base.
It's funny. Are they saying that?
Yeah. I mean, they're not adding the beauty of the base.
Like we have a joke. Me and Amy have been friends for years, and we have this sort of running gag where it's like, you know, the beauty of the bass, oh my god, or the Fenner. I actually went into her Discord server once, pretending to be a rabid fan, asking everyone in there if they knew the beauty of the bass. She was devastated when she found out. Here's Reva, who is actually based on Amy, so it's kind of relevant. So this is a new character in the second book. It's funny because I'm actually writing a part with her now. So this is a new character. This is Yeshua's sister, Yeshua and Felix's sister. She's a very entertaining individual. You will see why. And I'll give you some basics of the story. It's not a massive spoiler for the first book anyway. But in Amygdala, those of you who have read it will know that Yeshua usually hosts a gala called the Vambalaya Gala at the end of every sort of Kivik year, every tone, to celebrate, and it's the biggest event in the city, not just for entertainment but for trade and also politicking. In the first book, however, you might remember he brought the gala forward to have it early in order to throw some things up in the air and create a bit of a mess, so he could sort of navigate a bit better and find his feet. What we find out is that actually has a consequence because he brought his gala forward early. The slot that he would normally host his gala in, the end of the tone, the stanza, this big event is empty. So his resources and his circus are all spent, and who should want to take that spot but Reva? So she's now stepping in to take his big event and host this massive celebration to bring the city into the next stanza, the next sort of epoch, and he can't do anything about it. So if she succeeds, it could greatly affect the success of the dollhouse trade and upset the status quo. So her role in the book is quite big. But yeah, so there you go. I think there's also... Should I mention... I don't think
Spoilers?
It might be a bit spoilery to mention like too much, but that's sort of... that's where it goes. One thing that people should know about like the stuff I write is that every stupid little thing that might seem insignificant always comes back. I don't forget anything. So... I'm really fucking anal about little details like that. So even something as simple as an event being hosted early in the first book, it's like, oh, whatever. Well, that could have, a sort of landslide effect on someone else rising to power in that spot because you gave it up. So, yeah, I will give her plenty of attention in the months to come because she is actually one of the characters that I'm writing about right now. Right, let's have a look. We've got something from Jolly again here. Thank you very much. Mind giving us more open source information on Reva, just like historical stuff in the city about her in general. Okay, so I can give a little bit more maybe. So no one really knows who Reva is. She's a bit of a mysterious character. She lives on the Hamelo Ring of Sek. The town she lives in, I don't have a finished name for the town yet, but it's basically a town in two halves. The top half of the town is all scholarly. Everyone wears fancy clothes. Even the Yolsh have uniforms, which they usually don't wear anything. But even the Yolsh wear uniforms up there, and they're very, I suppose, pompous. And that's the sort of top layer of the town, and it's all sort of stone and crystals, and think of it like, I don't know, some wizard's fucking temple. Below, however, is the land of debauchery, so it's the opposite. So you have a manic tangle of trades, and that's where Reva dominates. A lot of the reason that no one's heard of her is because some of the more prominent ink houses in the town are on the top surface and they won't report on her. So one of the things that Reva has to do in the second book is try and break through that stone ceiling and get her voice out there and actually try and, step into Yeshua's space. Lucy, who, is from the first book, who was an inker, now an editor of her own ink house, she might play a very important role there. So you've got an alliance of various characters from the first book, new characters from the second book, to create some political upset. So there's loads of new stuff. So obviously Lucy's role in the second book is a journalist. So in the second book she's a journalist. In the first book she's also a journalist. She's an inker. So she works for Wiley. She works for Ruthergush. Obviously things happen there. I won't go too much into it yet. I'll talk a bit about it later. But in the second book, she actually has her own ink house. She has to be the big boss now. And it's a very cutthroat industry. And she's going to have to go up against some big names. And she's already made some enemies. And she's also made a few friends. She's got Celia in her corner. She's trying to craft deals with the likes of Thalias and Francium. She's got Bamforth and Whittaker on her tail. You've got some interesting politics in Lovart, where she now lives. You've got Captain Ursulot, who is this very imposing Yolsh who wants to take dominion over the district, because the aftermath of the first book leads to this sort of distrust between Yolsh and traders, and there's a lot of tension brewing. And one of the stories in the second book is Roger Penny, who's the new voice of trade, has to sort of bridge the gap between the divides left over from what happened in the first book. Mentioning no spoilers, but it's not an easy job. Not only that, but you've got the remnants of the trade cartels being sort of trying to rally, and without their previous guidance, with all their plans gone awry, they have to turn to different measures. And you have Fontaine, Greta, Basil, Teaser, Ludwig, in that plot. So there's a lot of, the complexities of Amygdala do not die off. They very much expand. And for anyone wondering if, this happened in Amygdala, that's over now. Wrong. Dead, fucking wrong. There are massive, biblical consequences for every little thing that happened in Amygdala, even things as early as chapter 1. They come back. Believe it. They come back. So we will be expanding on various plot points, and it will only get better. I promised some people that I would talk a bit more about what Lockett would be doing in the second book. So obviously you never want, the moment that what are you laughing at, Carmen? I hear you fucking guffawing over there. Wait.
11's comment. Great. Charge 11. Boy, I hope we see more of Goldune. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a stuffed rug.
I wish I could upvote comments.
Yeah. I wish I could pin comments as well. Have I missed any of those super chats? I don't think so. Oh, Mechas, thank you very much. Sombra, give you a pat on the back. I'm going to be doing some stuff with Sombra very soon, actually. Funny you bring him up. But yeah, so Lockett. You never want to be in a situation where you don't know what to do with your characters. I don't have that problem. I have the opposite problem. There is so much that I want them to do, and so much that they can do, and I have to fucking temper myself and I'd sort of smack myself on the wrist and say, no, that's later. You can't do that yet. So Lockett's sort of journey in the second book is way more interesting than the first, because obviously the first is an introductory sort of phase to the Kivik world, and we get to meet a lot of these characters.
With aftermath now.
Yeah, well, Lockett's got the aftermath of everything that happened, and so I thought it would be really good if she went on a political tour of the city. So In the second book, Lockett will be visiting places like Winterward, Mivium, Vileborn, Sheldrake, Dowser Towns. She will also be visiting Valahead and places on Topside for trade summits, meetings, all sorts of stuff, conferences, and ending with like a big sort of summit in the Glass Gardens of Thay. So Lockett's story in the second book, again without spoilers, is this attempt to actually touch base with the city, put her feet on the ground, and meet face to face the citizens of the city. And it's not all going to be pleasantries, She's going to have to deal with like some tough questions, some punishing questions. She's going to have to deal with everything that happened in the first book, and her even though it's a dangerous gambit, it is her hope that she can try and like pull the city together and like show leadership, because she knows that she can't stay locked away in the Thuum. She's got to actually, she's got to go out into the streets, and you've got Hayden, who is chief of security, who's a fierce Lockett supporter, and he's is quite a brutal man. And you've got Roger with her, so he will be addressing things of trade, and maybe we might see Lucy at some of these events, and so we've got like the world is growing and expanding in various ways, and maybe those cartels that I mentioned might try and upset some of those events, and might try to cause some trouble. So yes, Carmen?
Someone sent $5. Are you planning on doing a duet animation with Hyzid and Patches?
That's funny that you mentioned that. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, well, they will be appearing.
You could share the teaser if you want, the test.
No, well, I was gonna. I'm not sure I can on this.
Damn.
I might do one. I might do it on Twitter as well, actually.
Well, it is technically Indie Animation Day, so you could use
yeah,
take advantage of that hashtag. Just be like, Indie Animation.
Oh yeah, I could.
Me and my wife are making collab.
Yeah. When is it? When is it that?
When is it what?
That Indie Animation Day.
Today.
Is it today?
I think it's the 16th of every month.
Oh well, I fucking missed it, haven't I?
It's still the 16th. Oh no, it's not. But you can still use it.
I could. Well,
still
maybe after the stream, yeah. So yeah, we've got loads of fun things, and of course you've got the expedition to Blackenrend. You've got some characters going south. So that's a sort of rough idea of what shape the second book might take. Any big animation plans? I adore your work and would love more to consume. I'll need something to tide me over while we're waiting for Wonderlust. Yes, I'm actually working on a Lockett animation. I'm working on a Lucy animation. We're working on a Methuselah animation. We've got a Felicity music thing coming up as well. I'm going to animate some of the new characters in the second book. We're going to... Yeah, so I've got some really big ones. I also really want to do Polyphemus from the Epic album, which will be like... We'd need to record our own version because it's going to be Lockett, Sombra and Winifred sort of making a deal with Freda, and it's going to sort of, show how they met this Titan. And but I would need to sort of go... I would need to do a cover of that with my dad and my uncle. Speaking of that, the album... if you haven't listened to the audiobook, the links are below. There is a lot of music in it. Every character has their own theme. So you should definitely check out the links below. You can get the ebook, the paperback, and the hardback. But if you really want to hear the music, if you want the illustrations, because obviously the book is illustrated. You can get the second edition now.
There's like 90 illustrations in there.
Yeah, there are like 90 illustrations.
There's over 90. I think there were 86 in the first edition, and we added 6 or 7 more.
In the second edition, we've even got the Inca papers in there, so you can actually see what the Incas are drawing. So you can get this in hardback or paperback using the links below this stream, or if you are in a musical mood, you can get the audiobook, which I narrate, and we've got it fully scored with themes, and we're actually going to bring an album out the music that you heard at the beginning of this stream was obviously from the audiobook. So you can do that. Right. So I will entertain some non-spoilery questions about Amygdala, and then what I'll probably do is I might do like a phase 2 of the stream where I talk more spoiler stuff about the book. It has been 2 years. If you haven't fucking read it, then the links are below, and you probably should, and you can always just come back to the stream later. Thank you, Pegasus, for the $5. That's very kind of you. So yeah, I'll have some non-spoilery sort of questions about that. What's the backstory of Thalius? Well, Carmen, that's one for you.
He used to sweep chimneys, and I need to actually write it all down. You need to tell me stuff about Moxie, that way I can like...
Moxetamine, yes.
So I have way more lore with Francium than I do Thalius, but he used to clean chimneys, then from that learned the architect trade, and essentially from that became an architect. But he's been doing it for... Oh, shit.
What?
Did our Wi-Fi go out?
No.
Oh. But, he used to be in charge of the mint factories during the trade revolution. He made a lot of deals with Roger Penny, which that's how we met Francium. After the trade revolution, though, he kind of switched his position to start making drinks.
Well, for those of you who don't know, Thalius was created by Carmen,
I like centipedes and worms.
my wife.
And moths.
And Mystique was created by, my friend Erica. So, you would need to ask them for some... Obviously, we talk as I write. Will you release VA blooper reels? Something for the fans to animate? For fanimators to chew on? Well, if you want blooper reels from the cast, I think I still have a lot of them. If you want blooper reels from the audiobook, fuck me, you're going to be there for a long time, because I think there's more burps than there is actual fucking book. It was a very amusing time. I actually have the mixing desk now. My uncle gave it to me. Shit, Carmen, can I ask you a massive favour?
What's that?
Can I bully you into getting the mixing desk? I want to show it like a trophy.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Carmen.
Do
you want a prawn cracker as like payment?
No.
To eat while you're on your way downstairs?
I'm good.
You sure, Carmen?
Yeah, it'll make my fingers greasy.
What? Prawn crackers?
Oh, they got like a weird glaze on them. They're good, but it's just like, I don't want to keep...
Well, just hold it in your mouth. Oh, I'm getting loads of things here. Okay.
I'll get you a mixer.
Thank you, Carmen. You're a blessing. Mechas, I've been more catched in the animation, but have a good stream. Keep you posted on the game, mate. Oh, the game stream. Yes, yes. Mechas, voice of Dalton. He was in the most recent animation with Dalton. I'm going to do more. We're going to do some gaming streams. I also need to get, Taylor and a bunch of other people in that, because we did like a Lethal Company thing, which was really fun with a bunch of fucking people. So, well, it was fun for me. I think I killed everyone. I think I was the most deadly thing in that stream. Jolly, again, thank you so much. How many stanzas ago from when Amygdala takes place was Freyda slain? That's an interesting question, but that is also kind of a spoiler. Right, thank you, Carmen.
Yep.
Amygdala audiobook on CD, just wondering. Possibly, yes. This is the mixing desk that we did the audiobook on, right? And my uncle was going to throw it off a cliff, but I said to him, no, dear uncle, you must give it to me. I must have it. So, for those of you who want to see some of the tech that went into the audiobook, this is the desk, and I've got it in a glass display case downstairs in the cabinet, because I learned. I'll tell you what I learned. I learned this button right here. There you go. You press that to talk through the mic in the booth, and you press it to mute. And then these two buttons for the overall sort of levels, and this is sort of like the master one. So there you go. That's all I know about it. Everything else is a mystery to me. But also, to be honest, you don't have to fiddle with much. Like you get it. You do the settings, and then yeah. We yeah. It's let's see what it is. Studio Master, whatever. There it is. So if you want one, this created the audiobook. So I am quite fond of it. He's got like a new one now, which is like fucking this big. So the future technology, right? What have I missed? Will you ever have official merch made? I'm really curious. Please take all my money. Well, Carmen is actually working on that as we speak.
Yeah, I'm working on a shirt in relation to Methuselah.
Yes. So
I can send you a whip on Skype soon, but don't share it because right now it's.
I'm gonna share it for everyone. Oh, Carmen, do you have those Bronx things? I want to show those.
The sketches.
Yeah.
Man, you're gonna keep. I'm just gonna keep going up.
Oh, are they downstairs? No, it's okay if they're downstairs.
No, I'll get it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I thought that they were with you.
No.
Sorry.
Francium is the bird. Roxanne is the moth.
Yeah, Roxanne's the moth.
Pegasus. There is a Sombra pen that I've made like several of them. Some are like stained glass looking. We gotta get them.
We're gonna get them made, yeah. Well, like I said, that event, Core Element. I'll be at that event in August. So Pegasus, long-time fan here. Love your work. I was curious about the second book title name, changing it from Falling Through Mandelbrot to Wonderlust. Falling Through Mandelbrot is a fantastic fucking name, and I'm definitely going to use it for a chapter title. However, I'm quite set on like one word titles for the books, just because I think they're a sort of a more economical summary of the book. So Wonderlust sort of summarizes the sort of the feel of the second one. Maple Kittier or Kitty. Kittier, what the fuck am I talking about? I'm currently listening to the audiobook on my trips to work. I love the audiobook's musical score and your reading. Can't wait to draw some fan art. Thank you very much, and I will definitely react to it and treasure it always. Carmen's going to show us some developmental concept art for one of the characters in the second book. Carmen works with me. She's the illustrator for the first book.
That was some of the shit for Ingrid.
So we have some Ingrid concepts here.
I did them better in Clip Studio.
Ingrid is a mechanic. It's I think she will be one of either. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but she's a mechanic that works for Lucy's Ink House, and she's a big Highland cow lady. From outside of the city, and she's dumb as a rock, but she knows how to fix stuff. And Carmen's been helping me with some concepts.
Those are the shit
she
ones.
also stinks. So
we were playing Guild Wars while doing a lot of it. So
yeah,
those are kind of.
Oh, here we go.
Kind of ass.
Right. Shall I start with the?
Wait, let me see if I can find the other one that I drew, and then I.
Shall I go in reverse and show the devolution?
Should I get Bronx?
Yes, I think you should. So there's one of Methuselah's wards. We're going to have some more wards of Methuselah in the second book. Two of them are Tina and Bronx. I think it was Bronson. Bronx is something else. You'll meet Bronx in a second. So, concept art for Bronx here. That's him. Now, as we sort of go down, you see the various developmental ideas, right? And as we go further down, we enter into some very strange territory. You see, me and Carmen were discussing many shapes and sizes for this creature, and I thought
that one was the first one.
And
there's a story behind it.
And obviously we have some very early hieroglyphics depicting this animal. one of Methuselah's wards. And, of course, he's, like most of my characters, based on real things.
I want to explain. The one where it looks like a dolphin, I drew that on accident.
Yeah, Carmen drew that first one by mistake.
No,
so
lost my shit
this
laughing at it.
is Bronx.
I hate him so much. I want him to die.
Why'd you want me to die?
That's why.
My family have already perished in the fires. Come here. Come to him. He wants to say hello.
No, you're gonna hit me with him.
I have come to apologize to you. Please, accept this as a gift. You gotta come close, Carmen.
I don't want to get close. His nose eyes are staring at me.
My neck can only stretch so much.
Quit. I will burn that thing, I swear to God.
So, we're basing one of Methuselah's wards on him.
I hate him.
Carmen fucking hates him.
He used to be nice, but then you gave him a personality, and now I want him to die.
He used to be nice, then I gave him yeah, it's true. I got him as a gift for Carmen.
Yeah, right.
And then I sort of turned him into a fucking asshole who beats his main attack is like his headbutt. So this is like what he does when he's fighting. So whenever Carmen's like around, he
just starts talking about like my family.
Yeah.
They went extinct.
Of course he's, you've just got to punish him.
He deserves to be thrown.
Well, anyway.
I'd kill him. That's right. You throw him like he deserves.
I feel bad now.
No.
He's looking at me. He's got those eyes where no matter where you go, he's always looking at you. For fuck's sake. Oh. Well, anyway. We've got some new characters for you guys to experience. Yeah. Right. So you'll see Bronx or in the book Bronson.
He has wings.
Why do I? Oh, I've still got.
Mine doesn't have wings, though.
No, sorry, no. I've got like your book here. I thought it was mine. What's you got here? There's one of the things for Polly, as you can see.
My art's very good.
Yeah. What else we got here? Nice eye. Ooh, who's this?
I don't know. That's just a dude.
It is a dude. Ooh. Oh, these are some of your characters, aren't they, Carmen?
Oh yeah. I need to those are from
I like this one.
She likes the red papers. And she writes bad horror fan fiction.
Good. That's perfect for me. Oh, it's also this guy.
He's like a spider owl. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was all these were during the road trip.
Yeah. I remember this.
That was a plant concept. More little foods.
Yeah, do you wanna? Here you go. Here's your. I wouldn't wanna lose it because I fucking will. So yeah. So we've got like several things going on like around the world, like the world, but we've got merchandise. We've got things for book 2. But yeah. So, right. Sorry, I went off on a complete tangent there. What questions? Sorry, I was supposed to be answering questions for people. Let's see what some of these are. Everyone's just saying random things. Have you guys got any questions? I'm out of tea as well. Fuck. Oh, question regarding Kiv names. Some characters like Lucy have both first and last names, but others have so others seemingly don't. Is that well? Yeah. Okay. So they have what trade names. So you can have like a character like Lockett, and it's just like Lockett or Winifred. But like a character like Sally Sefton might have Sefton's Bookborough, or you might have a Trudy or Rudy Ruthergush, who owns Ruthergush Inkhouse, Sefton's Bookborough. So you have trade names. So the idea is that Lucy took a trade name, Lacemaker.
We should learn how to make lace.
We should. We should try and do that. So yeah. So there's trade names for that purpose. So they're not family names basically. Anyway, what's your favourite scene to write? The debate scene was fun to listen to. I like going to new places. I like describing new environments. I could read you some in the second book, some new places to sink your teeth into. There are quite a few. But I like scenes that come to like things that come together in a nice way. Like you start off with a sort of concept. Like one of my favorites was chapter 12 in Amygdala, and it's got this sort of, it's almost like a mini story. It's about violence and civility and how those things can break down like that. And from the very beginning, from the law, it's talking about the self-regulation. It's talking about Gatsby and how he uses he sort of bends things to his will and breaks the rules, and how violence can be capitalized upon. And then as the chapter goes on, you have this sort of thing of the fixed fight and Boutica, and things turning into riot and chaos. And I think it's almost like a self-contained mini chapter in which a point is made. And I really like things like that. I love those types of chapters that have those little elements in them that all come together like really nicely. Old Clem's Forge. I've read through the book twice and listened to the audiobook 5 times now since it was released. It's amazing, and I keep finding new details. Are the others that trouble Celia related to Mandus? That I cannot say. But thank you. You will find out in the second book, maybe, why Celia is the way that she is. But yeah, thank you very much. I'm very, very, very glad that you like the book. So I suppose we. What time is it? I'll keep going for another 15 minutes on stuff like non-spoiler, and then what I'll do is I'll throw up a little warning, and we can talk more about the like some spoilery stuff maybe, if you guys want, or I'll let you guys decide. I can read you some little bits of the second book that don't ruin anything, of course. So it all depends on what you guys want. They're all talking. Carmen, what are they talking about in the chat? Do you know?
Someone wants to see Goldoon's illustration. Someone's talking about it. A lot of people are bringing up a mythical creature, saying that it's real. I don't know what that's all about.
Need to shut that window. I think it's a fucking fly.
Did you get it?
I think so.
feel like the chat is gaslighting.
Yeah. Fucking hell. God.
It just caught up on it just caught up on my.
I don't know where it is anymore. Yeah. I think she's gone. Anyway, yeah, I think we're okay.
Hope so. What are you laughing at?
See, when the stream catches up. Right, so anyway. I need a cup of tea. Fucking hell. I've got 2 cups on my desk and neither of them have tea in them.
Whoa. That sounds like a problem.
It does sound. It is a problem. Right. So anyway. Right. So what do we? I need to make a fucking a decision here. What would you guys want me to do? You guys choose. Choose what I choose. I didn't plan this.
You're men or you crew?
No, Carmen. You can't say that. Got an idea here. Wait. Right. Fuck.
Do you want me to make you a tea?
No. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay. Alright. I've got a plan here. I just need to fucking hell. We got that fucking fly in the room again, Carmen. Did anyone see where it went? Did anyone see where that fly went?
Fuck's sake. You're dying.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I just need a drink. I'm just a bit thirsty. Fucking hell.
What are you doing? I'm waiting on the string to catch up so I can.
I just had a bit of a cough. Just had a bit of a cough right there, right?
Just got
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, man. Trouble is they're going off the screen, so
That's like the first thing that they say coming into the stream.
What, did someone say something?
I came in late, what did I miss?
Oh.
CK Hullabaloo.
I've got like 3 of them in the folder now because they keep flying off the screen. Alright, right. Oh, enough shenanigans. Alright. I'm gonna go.
Someone has a question about how long did it take to record and edit the audiobook?
Just as I was about to leave. About a year. You may be thinking that's a long fucking time. It is a long time. I had like loads of other things to do. But yeah, recording, editing. I did I did all the editing. Me and my uncle managed all the fucking sound stuff. We even went through the book like fucking into the sound file to remove clicks and pops and little glitches. So we polished it to all fuck. So it took a while. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go and get it. I'm just gonna go and get like a cup of tea. I'll be back. All right. Right.
Just waiting for it to catch up. See what was put there. Honestly, from my point of view, I have no idea what anybody in the chat's talking about. Sam will end up seeing the super chats later. I don't know how long it'll take or how loud I am. But to answer your question, Rebecca, a lot of them are based on people that he's known. None of them are solely based on Sam or anything. It's based on like people. Good. I'm glad I can be heard, at least in my.
Ugh.
Sam, your chat is gaslit.
What?
Your chat is gaslighting.
Gaslighting
I
what?
think I guess me in the chat. They keep saying that something's there on your desk.
Something's.
I don't know
What?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Is something there?
I guess.
Oh. I don't know. Well, anyway, I was gonna take this opportunity to show you guys the new sort of like layout of the book. So it is actually much thinner than the first edition, because we did some, like slight adjustments to the spacing and the stuff like that. So I think it's a bit cheaper as well. So yeah.
Someone was asking about your opinion on Epic the musical, like the ending of it specifically.
Right. Okay. So what was the question?
Someone was asking about your opinion on the ending of Epic the Musical.
I haven't actually seen the ending of Epic the Musical. So I have opinion. Oh, are you laughing at, Carmen?
The stream catching up.
I haven't actually. I do have some opinions on the Epic Musical. I think some of it's kind of fucking stupid. Like, I saw one thing where it was like he had like the sack of wind as like a jetpack.
That was funny.
Okay, so it's like, but,
All I gotta do is
you know, but whatever. I like good music, and it's good music at the end of the day. I probably wouldn't make some of the lyrical choices. I think it's a bit modern, so in some areas, like like damn, we got to get home to Ithaca, baby. It's like, come on. Anyway, isn't what from SpongeBob? Fucking Carmen Lewis just asked if the bag of wind is from SpongeBob.
Okay, to be fair.
Don't you fucking do this to me, Carmen.
No, Lewis has a point. Like,
No, Lewis does not have a point.
the SpongeBob movie?
Yeah, what came first, the SpongeBob movie or Homer's Odyssey?
Was there a bag in Homer's Odyssey?
The bag of wind?
Alright.
The bag of fucking wind. Where do you think that comes from?
Sorry, Dumby moment. But Dumby moment, that's on me. It's been like over a decade.
I've got to do it. I'm sorry. I've just got to do it. I'm sorry.
Sparks is right. The SpongeBob movie definitely came first.
You know what? I think actually, yeah, maybe it did. Anyway. So, what are you laughing at?
It's okay, Lewis. I had the dumb moment too.
I'll tell you what, you know what I'm going to do? Virus time. There we go. You guys can fucking punishment time, alright? Punishment. This is your punishment. You've got to live with this now. You did this. I take
Someone
no...
just asked who was that.
Who's what?
Am I Dusty? Yeah, right. Who was that? Right. Unbelievable. If you don't know who that child was, he's a man now, but Freddie B. Benson. If you don't know who Freddie Benson is, that's awful.
I'm just waiting for things to, like, for it to settle in. Anyway, enough virus. Just I'll put it up there. Right. Sorry, I asked people like what they wanted me to do, and then like fucking here we are 20 minutes later. Sorry guys. What would you like to do now? You have a full choice.
Disgusting.
Is yours. So, choose wisely. Biblically accurate, Lucy, that is correct. Can I do a poll, actually? Can I do a poll? Do a poll. How do I do a poll? Engage with your audience. Start a Q&A. What does that mean? Start a Q&A. What the fuck? Poll. Start a poll. Okay, I've got it. There we go. Poll started. You guys should be able to, like, vote there. Can you guys see it?
What should I do now? Yes.
I'm just gonna wait for the. I will respect the results of the poll. I'll give it like a little bit longer.
I think most people are gonna.
Well, we've got yes, so I'll end the poll. There we go, end poll, yes. Now we'll go into the next phase of the poll.
You literally never do.
You never do what?
I think that was in reference to respecting the poll decision.
I will respect.
Doctored results before Budgie says.
Excuse me. Right? I will respect the results of the poll. I promise. I really promise, guys. I'm totally serious. Consider writing a scene in which Fontaine tries to teach Ludwick how to dance. The comedic potential is there, possibly. Bit cruel, given his leg, but you know. Oh, okay. 63% on the new stuff, which I'm down for.
I think if you do spoilers, then you can give a brief thing on part of the shell chapter that you read when we were on our road trip.
Ooh.
But that one may be too spoilery because of the events in Amygdala.
Okay, that's a good point. We'll go on to a next phase of the poll. So phase 3 of the poll. So start poll. Right, there we go. See how decisive I am? First I ask you, should I? You said yes. Then I ask you, what should I? You guys tell me. And then now I'm asking you, and why should I? You see how democratic this is?
Well done.
You see how democracy works? Okay, 93% is saying yes, spoilers for Amygdala. It has been out for 2 years. I imagine most people in this stream have read it, you know? For those 7% who haven't, 8%,
Leave!
9% who have, then go and buy it. The links are in the description. I vote for violent self-regulation. Well, you know what? Maybe that's true, you know? Is what Luigi did the act of violent self-regulation, do you think, Carmen? You see...
Luigi did a public service.
Well, you see, here's the thing, Carmen.
He did nothing wrong.
In the Underbirth, it would be like, you know, I suppose it would be up to like the locals. Like, okay, 92% Wonderlust stuff with spoilers for Amygdala. Yes, okay. Well, I can work with that. I love democracy. Me too. Yeah, sorry, I've burped 4 times apparently. Right. Okay, so I'll do some Wonderlust stuff, shall I? So
I think you should do the shell chapter for Lewis, and also I really like that chapter because it's very sweet.
okay, I'll read you some of chapter 5 with Shale, and I'll do this for Lewis because I know I've been bullying Lewis a little bit, you know, in the stream. But to be honest, Lewis kind of deserves it, you know. So what?
It's true.
Yeah, it is true. It is definitely true. Okay, end poll. There we go. So we'll do some stuff like with you know with Shale. Okay, Because I imagine, like, most people who are here have read it, so, fuck, you know. Wait, what's this? Oh. Oh, that's just telling me what the new stuff was. Okay, right. That's kind of handy, actually. What the fuck was it? God, this I've written so much in the past few weeks. Jesus Christ. Man, oh man. Here we go. Right. Who's ready for some shale content?
Me.
Yeah? Ready? Okay. So, I'll read some stuff. Okay, so... Add text. Spoilers for Amygdala. Warning. Spoilers for Amygdala. I'll do the little Lucy as like a little warning symbol. That way people can't, like, you know, they can't deny it then. They can't, like, ignore it. They can't pretend they don't see it. It's just like, you know. Alright. Oh, I need to fucking shave. Ooh, I'm gonna start looking like fucking Jack Black.
If we go out with Jade tomorrow, we should go to the toy store to see if they have the Jack Black.
Do you want to buy the Jack Black action figure? Oh, I also got some cranberry juice. Want some cranberry juice, Carmen?
No, I still got coffee.
You want some in your coffee, Carmen?
Sounds
Fucking
terrible.
pretty delicious, am I right?
No.
Sounds pretty fucking...
I feel like I would grow a third eye if I drink that.
Exactly. Okay. Alright, are we ready? If I do this, how... I don't know, that looks a bit ominous to me.
I want to see what it looks like. It hasn't caught up for me yet.
It looks a bit strange. I think normally I look better with lower lighting, but
I could turn on the overhead light.
that would make me look horrible. Okay, right, here we go. But, okay, so I'm gonna read you some of, like, chapter 5, but I would just like to preface this, okay? This is draft 1. I will be bringing this into the second draft soon, but I still need to proofread it. That's 5, I think. So I still need to proofread it. So if you see me stop or fumble, it's because I've either noticed a typo and I'm fixing it, or I'm fiddling with the language, because that's usually how you do it. So bear in mind. Okay, so this is chapter 5. Because I think in Amygdala I did read chapter 3, didn't I? I read chapter 3 of Amygdala all the way through. I probably won't read all of chapter 5, but I'll read, like, you know, a good chunk of it to give you guys an idea. So I you know, it's fine for people who have read Amygdala. This is no big deal. $20 says you grow your beard. Almost probably not, unless I could pull off the wizard look, which I might when I'm over the age of 50. But I'm not 50 yet. I'm still young. I should capitalize on my youth. You should try Canvas Streams, Rebecca. What are those? Anyway, okay, we gotta get started. Okay, here we go. So, Chapter 5, Part 1, The Painted Sky. So, through tired eyes, the room was similar. 4 walls, a pillar at the centre, and a dressing table tucked away in the east corner. See, I've already noticed a little thing that I could tweak there. Sanctified, with tall bottles of colourful perfume like a city of rainbows. Shale strained her large aqua eyes As Shale strained her large aqua eyes, she saw the details of the chamber, and with this clearer image came the stark contrast. Nothing so beautiful could truly be mistaken for her little corner of Ruthergush. Squinting, she saw the pristine wallpaper, grey and dotted with the most perplexing patterns. Rolling to her back, she saw the carven ceiling mimicking the fractal skies above the glaze. The corner of her lip raised at the thought of soaring through the early mists, sailing through rain and vapour. Lifting her head, she turned to the left. Watching the soft silver curtains dance in the cool breeze, thicken with a blend of voices from below, sailors, dollies, steelworkers, botanists, inkers. It was the voice of old Frankme. Shale sat up with long arms crossed behind her serpentine neck. With her fluffy chest thrust out, she stretched until the crack. With a groan, she crawled from her den and sat herself before the dressing table, studying the tired face over the curved heads of bottles. The first item she selected was tall and blue, the contents hidden behind frosted glass. She sprayed her chest and mohawk hair, combing with a quaint wooden brush. Next she greased her fingers in a black pot of oil and rubbed her naked cheeks, neck and stomach. Finally she tipped each claw in a tall bottle of clear polish, making them shine in the light. With the ritual complete, Shale turned her head toward the balcony, feeling the icy breeze tickle her dampened skin. With a flick of her tail she strode out and gazed at the river below, watching the boats sail in and out of the bay to the left. The scent was different from Mivium. Everything was different. "Good to see you up," said a slick voice to the right. "How's your room?" Shale looked across to the neighbouring balcony. Standing there, raised above the bars by a wooden box, was a tiny fellow of 2 feet. His blue, beetly barrel body was hard and smooth, with 2 beautiful wings stretched out beneath the shell. He had 4 arms and 2 strong legs with 3 sharp digits on each, indicating a delicate touch. His face was fuzzy and round, crowned with 4 antennas that poked through his sapphire mane. With 4 white, dominating eyes and a mouth guarded by razor pincers, his short stature was well accounted for. Shale rested her elbows on the balcony, yawning. My room, same as yours, Chaplain. 4 walls, a den, a dressing table." He cocked his head. "Oi, you got a dressing table?" "You don't?" He kicked the box on which he stood. "Machine parts, that's all I got." "Well, maybe Felix has done his research. You kept our old printing machine chugging along, somehow." Chaplain crossed his arms. "Ruthergush had a Maryland C-49 unit. That old girl I knew inside and out, but this Starklook bunch, they'll have mechanics like me coming out of their ears. And they'll have all the latest kit, I tell you." Shale shrugged, turning her back. Turning her head back down to the canal. "Maybe they don't. They must have hired us for a reason, don't you think?" "And what do they want from you then, eh? If there's one thing they don't need, if there's one thing they don't need more of, it's writers. Maybe that explains the dressing table." He laughed. "You're cheaper than a trip to a dollhouse, aha!" At that, Shale chuckled with a snort. "You cheeky little tit." Then she sighed. "I'm glad I'm not alone in this. Truth be told, I don't know what I'm doing here." Chaplain waved for attention. "Oi, look at me. Now listen. You were the top writer at our old Ruthergush. Wiley saw it, in his own way. This Felix fella will see it too." He turned, huffed. If he has any sense about him." Shale was blushing. "Thanks, Chaplain." Just then there came another voice from behind, muffled and soft. "Shale! Shale! You about? Come in, Lavinia." The door of the chamber was opened swiftly by a thin girl of 5 feet, possessed of frizzy purple hair. Her body was thin, hunched and hominoid, with a shy, rodent face. 2 large red eyes peeped through the shadows like bloody pools, but the soft lips below, pressed to a thin black line, betrayed a nervous disposition. She was dressed only in a simple black dress, a shade lighter than her silky fur, which cloaked her body like shadows. Behind was the bushed tail of a great squirrel, swaying from side to side as she inched closer. "Everything okay?" said Shale. Lavinia drooped long ears. "You've been sent for." A door slammed, and shortly after, Chaplin appeared in the right side of the doorframe. "Hello, hello. What brings you up here, Liv?" "Oh, hi, Chaplin. Sleep well?" "Fine, thanks. Yourself?" "Like a rock. Such lovely chambers, aren't they? Better than the holes. Better than the holes. Oh. There. Better than the holes we had at Ruthergush. Ha ha!" Shale looked between them, finally resting her eyes on Lavinia. Who sent for me?" Lavinia stared back at her. Oh, sorry, Shale. It's Macron, the lead writer. He wants to meet you at the next bell. Something about a story?" Chaplin laughed with a wheeze. "And you were wondering why they hired you?" Shale failed to fight a smile. "We'll just see what he says." Lavinia nodded. He told you to meet him in the garden. I'll be right up. Thanks, Liv." Chaplin brought all hands together. "And while you're sucking up to the boss fella, I'll be getting a spot of lunch with the locals." "Don't you cause any trouble, Chaplin. We're employees, not guests." "I'll answer when I'm called, Shale. Don't you worry none." "Just be careful, Ludwick." Shale froze. "Chaplin," and edged back into her room. "Tell Macron I'll be there." "Thanks, Liv." The moment the door was shut, Shale slumped with her back against it. All too vivid were the memories of a dead life. All too quickly did her mind turn to Wiley and the smell and feel of Ruthergush. Then she saw Ludwig's youthful face, heard the laugh of Lacemaker. Dead things, lost things, abandoned things. Shale turned her teary face up to the ceiling, thinking back to those golden times when the sky was bright and warm against her wings. Right, so that's part 1 of chapter 5. Oh, what was all those frowny faces? Come on. Cheer up. She's alive, isn't she? Right. Wow.
I also
I'm just fucking. Sorry, Carmen.
I also added my frowny face.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna counter it. I'm gonna do that. See? What's wrong? What's wrong? You don't fucking. Why don't you fucking? Okay, so there we go. So that was a little extract of. I could do one more, if you want. I could do one more. But it's up to you. Bear in mind, this is a massive book. It's 42 chapters, so chapter 5. It's not going to spoil much. I'll only read things that get you more excited. You're not going to have any resolutions this early, so
Perchance the wards.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Well, I'll do one more for the people. I'll do one more for the people. I am a man of the people. Right. Yeah, that's from Wonderlust. So, anyone who hasn't read Amygdala, spoilers. I'm warning you. These are after the events of Amygdala. So, links below. Read the book. Come back to this stream. I would do some stuff on Reaver. I really would, but I want to leave it until I've polished it. A lot of that stuff is still fresh, and I want to read through it myself first before all this stuff. I've at least read through this once, and I know that it's somewhat strong. It hasn't entered the second draft yet, but I know what I'm reading here is pretty solid already. With the Reaver stuff, I wouldn't want to read you guys anything only to then change it and confuse you. So I'll do part 2. And then we can maybe look at another character if you guys want. You guys can choose. We'll do maybe a poll or something.
You guys should choose the wards.
The wards, yes. Well, they will decide, Carmen, won't they? They will choose. Right. So I'll do I'll do one more of this particular chapter. So, because we got a bit of Felix here. Let me just check in. Yes. Okay. Are we agreed? Are we agreed? Yeah. Yes, Karen. Is that a little yes on here, Karen? Okay. Okay, I'll do some stuff on the wards next.
Yay!
All right. I'll read through this next part, and then we'll do the wards. Yes. Okay. Good. Agreed. Right. So, 2. The Scoop. Starklook Ink House was 10 floors of Introductory, boasting 3 separate printing machines in the lowermost halls. Floor 2, 3 and 4 were dedicated to the writing staff, each headed by a lead writer. Politics, economy, entertainment, these were the 3 pillars of the paper. Some gossip, some satire, but never enough to erode integrity. Felix decreed this. Floors 5, 6 and 7 were for the planning of articles, while also offering social respite. The spaces on these floors were soothing to the eyes and mind, acting as extravagant common rooms for inkers to talk and sketch. To observe this community of minds at their labours was all but a privilege to those on the outside. Floors 8 and 9 were for the accommodation of staff, boasting 100 rooms each. But the 10th floor was the domain of Felix, and scattered about were the many offices in which he worked. Those below, on the 9th, oft heard the dull thump of his cane as he paced around the circumference. Though few ever saw it, there was a garden tucked away at the centre of Starklook's crown, shaded by the black walls, the towering chimneys. And yet the light was bright and gold in this place, and above was a mix of gentle Hamelot blues and the soft greens of the Thum. Here Felix waited, sitting at a large iron table surrounded by the budding flowers. Sorry, I'm an idiot. I had it right the first time. Surrounded by budding flowers of white, crimson and grey. Below his feet, soft blue grass, and above, a crooked blossom head. A crooked blossom head leaned, dropping down silver petals like snow. Entering the courtyard through the stained glass doors was Macron, followed by a dark and icy hue, followed by a dark aura and an icy hue that could not be rightly explained without insult. He prowled forth like a shadow cat, growling with a deep and resonant rumble. His body was long, with four front legs and 2 at the back. A long neck led to a tired feline face with heavy brows and deep-set eyes of amber. His body was frosted in dark grey and exquisitely groomed. But Felix kept his gaze bent on Shale, who loomed proudly above her escort. She sat at the table to the right of Macron, facing the editor with sharp eyes. Felix turned his head to a pot of boiling sapphire liquid, which he stirred with a flat metal instrument. "Blue fudge hash," he started, letting locks of silver hair fall across his vulpine face. "My favourite, especially in weather like this." He lifted the pot and poured a mug for Shale, for Macron, then himself. "Thank you," Shale said, taking in the sweet aroma. "I've never had it." Felix placed a lid on the pot, smiling. "It's quite hard to get, underside." Eyes back to hers. "It's a Hamelot recipe. From Gourank. I grew up there." She took a swig, smacked her lips. "Did you really?" "Yes, although I never acquired the accent. That was Yeshua. Reva had it for a time, though she lost it, last I checked, in favour of some modern twang." Felix took up his mug, warming both hands. "And you? Valahead? I don't hear it in your voice." Shale's eyes faded as her mind drifted elsewhere. "It was long ago." The eyes snapped back to life, sharp again, piercing even. "How do you know that?" Macron spoke. "We do our research here." He moved his drink to one side and placed upon the table a black document. His voice was deep and unkind. The Painted Academy. Top student, perfect form, the fastest flyer in your class. Macron turned to her without looking. It seems you would have made a fine watcher. What happened? My ego, she answered, looking ahead. That going to be a problem? No. There was a wobble in her voice wobbled. Yeah, just so you know, this is from the second book. So there are spoilers for Amygdala. We did a poll. There are warnings here. You know. So I'm warning you. The warning has been made. Alright? Read this thing! I'll make it bigger. Fucking hell. Maybe I should make it red. I'll make it flashing. Can I make it flash? Right. Select font. Underline. Bold. There we go. So yes, we are reading some little bits of the second book. So there are spoilers for Amygdala. Okay? I'll even do this. No. Forget it.
It's great that you're reading the second book.
But fucking hell. 1 second. Add text. Where the fuck is text? Right. Is that okay? Do you need more? Huh?
Reading some of book 2 spoilers for Amygdala. If people can't read that, then that's on them. If they complain about spoilers, then skill issue, I guess. It's in big red text.
How's that? We got it?
That should work, I think.
There we go. Satisfied? Okay. You fucking people. Alright, okay, let's go, right. That going to be a problem? No. Her voice wobbled. As I said, it was long ago. Felix was taking the first swig of his drink. After, he set the mug down and took up his cane, tapping the grip with ringed fingers. Then you came through to the inner side, to Moncton, then Mivium, where you met Wiley. Shale shifted, said, You hired me for a reason. Is this it? Let me be frank with you. There is a story here. Rathergush, Wiley, the Maya, Fontaine and his black book. All of it. You were there. You, the employees. He pressed his cane into the ground, leaning forward. I did not send those letters with conditions in mind. There are no conditions. You have employment. But you also have a story. It is expected. Shale didn't move. I won't tell it. Careful, girl, said Macron. The door swings both ways. Easy, Felix said to him, raising his hand. Let her explain. Please, Shale began. It's not a story the city needs to hear. I disagree, and let me tell you why. No. Her voice changed. It was heavier. I don't need to hear why, 'cause you're wrong. She took a moment to compose herself, breathing easy through her lips. Wiley. He gave me a chance. He gave everyone a chance. He was too trusting. He had an ego, like me. But he wasn't ruthless or unfair or cruel or unkind. He was just too soft. Too soft. He was unsure of himself. He felt inferior. Like he had to meet the mark, live up to something, to Ruby. Ruby Ruthergush. The one who gave him his chance, who saved him. The one he couldn't save. Shale wiped a tear from her cheek. I was quick to critique him, always complaining. But he was desperate and scared, and I felt sorry for him. His story, it's too sad. The city doesn't need it right now. It'll make things worse. Felix was nodding. You feel strongly about this. In silence, his mind flicked back to the beginning, when he skulked beneath two large, dark shadows. The ambitions of Yeshua and Reva combined were smothering, and with the advent of that shining circus and talk of Reva's own debut, no light in the world could beat back the all-consuming darkness. His head turned up toward the Hamelo and Thum, hazed by the icy clouds, recalling his youth. Then his mind returned to present matters. Do you want to check the stream? We all good? Yes, okay, good. Making sure. Then his mind returned to present matters. We won't run the story. Just give me a second. Let me just tweak this so it functions a bit better. Perfect. We won't run the story. Macron's eyes flashed. Sir, I have spoken. Felix finished his drink. We have something else. There was an incident here in Old Frankby. A settlement uncovered. A settlement uncovered in the Grange, the stronghold of Fontaine, laid low by the Yosh. Many bodies yet remain in that place. You will go with Macron and make a report. You will do everything Macron says. Understood? Shale smiled warmly. Thank you, she said with a bow of her head. Macron remained silent and still as the Inca girl took leave of the garden. He was studying the Stark editor with a wrinkled brow. When the glass doors were shut, he sighed, and his breath bloomed in the air like smoke. So, that's it. Just like that, no story. I think she's right, said Felix. I think you're too eager. Besides, there are more pressing matters. What of the Incas we sent to Lovart? Macron's bitterness escaped as a growl. They returned 2 bells back. And what did she say? The answer was no, Felix. Excuse me.
Disgusting.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's right, you should.
Felix stabbed his cane into the ground. Determined. We'll ask again. Sir, she screamed at them. They pushed her too hard. This Celia isn't going to consent to an interview, not with anyone. Methuselah's death and everything leading up to it is it's the biggest story in the city right now. She was part of it. If we don't get to her, somebody else will. Sir, if she's not talking to us, she's not talking to anyone. Leaning in. Which is why we should be pushing this Wiley angle. At least it's something. Why let that go, just to spare some feelings? Felix locked eyes. It's not about feelings. It's about principles. Wiley was an editor. One of us. He was a failure. And he was one of us. A story like that? it could affect our industry, our reputation, our reliability as a trade, as an institution. Incas. The other editors won't like it. Macron's face was one of reptilian scrutiny. There's more to this. What aren't you telling me? Enough. This isn't a debate. Felix gestured to the door. There's a story at the heart of the Grange. Claim it. I want good news when I return from the circus. The circus? I have a meeting with Yeshua. Yeshua, said Macron, thinking. Now his part in all this would make for a good story. And the price for it would be my head. Leave him to me. Macron nodded and prowled away. Yes, sir. Alone, Felix sat, frost clinging to his long white hair, glittering. In his mind, he thought ahead, lured by a flicker of ambition, deeper and deeper into himself. An icy gust is what stirred him, and when he stood, it was with newfound warmth. Right, so there you go. So a little bit of a teaser for the some of the Inca plots and some of the effects of the first book. Right, yes. Satisfied? Boom, 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 boom. Right, so what now? I can do like maybe a few more.
The wards was next. I'm gonna go use
The wards. Okay, well I've got to pick like an actual part. What part?
I'm also almost done with this shirt design.
Hell
it's
yeah.
the one that I need a 3D model from you. Like the Meyer.
Oh yes, of course.
I just need to finish Methuselah's face. I'll send it to you on Skype.
Where was it? Oh. No, okay, it wasn't there. It wasn't there either. The Copper King. I could read a bit of that, actually. Ladies of the Golden Mark. Different shapes. Oh, here it is. Yes, okay. Yes. What are people talking about? Patches of Syria, the wards I hung them, what reading please hung them, Ludwick, Bronx, oop, a 6.5, the wards, please, I'm bringing you Ludwig. I'll do some Ludwig, maybe a bit, but I'm going to do some bits of the wards first. Okay. Right. I'll wait for Carmen to return, have some juice. Hello. You sure you want some juice, Khan?
Yeah, I do want some juice.
You've decided that you want juice after all?
Yeah.
We gotta keep some left, Mr. Frodo.
Got some left.
For the journey home. I don't think there will.
What are you on about? We need to rewatch one of
Oh,
these.
Sam. Take some of mine, Mr. Frodo. There's still a wee bit left.
Dude, you're so I think my mom is watching our streams, so she's just gonna be like, what are they doing?
Look at them, Mr. Frodo. They're so white. Right. Right, I think I'll just... fucking love me some prawn crackers. Okay, let's play a game, right?
Let's just story Lewis.
Yeah, let's play...
What is bro on about? Lewis, have you ever watched
Okay.
Lord of the Rings?
Lewis, come here. Right, let's make a bet. Have you seen Lord of the Rings?
Make a poll.
Yeah, let's make a ball. That's Lewis. Let's see what Lewis says first. I bet Lewis hasn't seen Lord of the Rings. I bet Lewis... Okay. Right. Why don't you know what I'm talking about then?
I've seen all the movies once.
What, when you were fucking 3? So you don't remember the part where it's like fucking take some of mine, Mr. Frodo. Still a bit left. And then Frodo's like drinking his fucking drink. You know? This kind of reminds me of lamb bread as well. Can we do reactions on the stream? Are there any negative ones, like thumbs down? Let's all laugh at Lewis. Let's press the laugh button. Everyone press the laugh button. Let's all laugh. Everyone press the little laugh button. Alright. So... yeah, they're for you, Lewis. They're all for you. Alright. So, watch Lord of the Rings. Alright. Gotta keep my energy up, you see. It's tiring, this. Alright. Ugh. Right. So, I'll read some bits of Heisen and stuff, shall we? Heisen and Friends. Okay, so.
I respect you, Lewis.
Well, you know what? I have respect for Lewis, you know. Yeah. So, right. So, okay. I can't remember what chapter this was, actually. 4. This is chapter 4. Part 3. Different shapes. Now remember, guys, we're reading some of book 2 as a little taster, and there are spoilers for Amygdala, and there's a fucking warning right there, right?
I'm disgusting now, like.
Calling me disgusting, going. That's not very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I should read some of Ingrid next. But I'll save that for later, because I did promise some Ludwick stuff. Right, so spoilers. Fuck's sake. Methuselah's ward, Brownian, Silverhold. Heisen's life was experienced in rooms, carpeted floors, walls festooned, ceilings either carved or painted, doors closed and locked. But now those doors were opened. Heisen was free, and the world rolled out before her tiny feet. Looking up, she saw the tops of bookshelves, lining the cobblestone streets like skyscrapers. Beyond them were distant lights, networks of colour, movement and noise.
She knew what a library was. Indeed, she had lived among books all her life, and she found her home between those shelves. But this was something else entirely. The size, scale, scent, shades, and sounds were all monumental. And ever there was that press of fear. Beneath Methuselah's keen eye, they were 22. By the time they reached Silverhold Hearthroom, they were 12. Then 7, scattered and astray, but not beyond hope. Indeed, the monster, Lady Death, saw something in her, and now Hyzen was keen to discover for herself. In that room, bathed in the light of a crackling fire, what was seen? This was the question. What's the burp count at now, guys? So this is what recording the audiobook was like. You can imagine how fucking horrendous it was to edit.
And you were in a box.
And I was in a box. Yeah. I was in a little box. Sam in a box.
The box was about as wide as your chair.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. 8, 7, 8. Okay. I'll go with 8. It's probably 8. Hyzen scampered from shadow to shadow, her pink nose twitching at every scent, ears tacked to any little noise. The librarian world, the name unknown, vexed and bewildered at every coil and turn, but in her mind a local map was forming. Eastward, she guessed, past the blues and icy greys, was the scent of water. She wet her chapped lips with a pink bone-dry tongue, inching forward. She could hear voices dead ahead, and when they moved, she moved, darting beneath the opposite bookcase. Wheezing, Hyzen beat her chest, sifting through smells with her nose. They're not far, she thought. Moving low, she negotiated a series of passages, crawling high into a maze of beams and oddities and shadow. There we go. Then, just ahead of her, far above an ornate chamber, she saw 3 familiar shapes. The first was Patches, who sat upon a wooden rafter, knees to chest, gazing down at the space far below. In his hands was the wooden lady, as always. Past him, upon a ledge that framed the room, were 2 other faces, Tina and Bronson. Tina's thin, hominoid frame was dressed in blue pyjamas, patterned with silver shapes. Her head was a mix of rabbit and lamb, lit with a bright red nose. Around her aqua eyes were sapphire patterns swirling like galaxies. The rest of her furred body was perfectly soft and white. Atop her head was a blue sort of sleeping cap, drooping down her back. Her fuzzy tail coiled around her neck, warming her. Tina's breaths were gentle, chest rising and falling. At full height, she would stand no higher than 4 feet, a harmless little creature, free from dark designs and machinations. So, Tina has narcolepsy, so she's very sleepy, right? She just looks in a mirror, counts herself, and falls asleep. Bronson was another matter. The boy, okay, so this is an old description, so I'm not going to read it, because it's actually, I don't want to confuse people. Shit.
What? What are you looking for? Oh.
This Bronson was another matter. The boy was akin to a Brachiosaurus, with a long stretched neck, a bulbous face, stupid nose, and a spine from his shoulder blades to the tip of his tail. His legs, his body was fat and round, and his tail was stupid and short. Bronx was also stupid. But he had a heart of gold. Right. Yeah, so the description I wrote for Bronx has changed slightly. So I just made that up. That's not actually what I wrote. Believe me. As a result, the fowler was clumsy on his feet, balancing himself with a long, fat tail. "There's water," said Hyzen, announcing herself. "Time to leave." "No," said Bronson, with a stamp of his foot. "Tina is tired. We're safe here." "Bronson, we don't know that. I said no. We're not leaving another one. We all saw what you and Patches did to Miles in the fire room. Filled your bellies with his flesh. He was already dead," she scowled. "And when you smelled his blood, what did you lot do?" "I did nothing." Hyzen glanced to Patches for support, only his eyes were fixed to his woolen toy. "It was different. We were starving. Methusa did everything for us, Hyzen. She loved us. She loved you." Bronson sneered. "And the two of you let that black monster get into your heads. So, what happens down the line when you go hungry again?" "Nothing will happen," Hyzen argued with surprising passion. "She spoke to us. She spoke to us. What were we supposed to do?" What was a typo?
Someone was asking about, like, you describing, Patches' Lockett flesh as wooden.
Woolen. No, woolen with an L.
Oh.
Wool. Woolen.
Wool.
Um,
I didn't know if it was just a thing saying, like, wooden as in, like, Lockett stoicism.
okay. Yeah. Nothing will happen, Hyzen argued with surprising passion. She spoke to us. What were we supposed to do? But don't you remember the stories? Methusa warned us. I know. But Bronson, she's gone. She's not gone. We're still here. At that moment, Tina stirred. "Please don't argue," she said softly. Her eyes flickered like dying lights. "I'm okay. Really, I'm fine. A wheeze escaped her. "We can move on." "No, you need rest." Hyzen crossed her arms. "We'll die if we stay. The giant below may tolerate us for the moment, but what happens when he gets hungry?" Bronson relaxed his hard features. "Just a little longer, Hyzen, please. If we rush out too soon, we'll never make it. At least the giant is slow." When Tina went to rise, Bronson turned to aid her. Only Patches was quicker, gripping her arm. When upright, their eyes met, blue and blue. Tina smiled, then turned to Hyzen, whose forehead was wrinkled in thought. "We're safe up here, at least. And if you say water is close, then we'll go. But let's plan first, yes?" Hyzen lifted her pink nose, perked her fluffy ears. "I can work out the best way, but then we go." "Agreed," said Bronson. We should talk to the other three. Convince them to join us. It'll be safer if we all move as a group." Tina yawned, settling back down. We really should be moving on. Hyzen whispered to Patches. "We're not as safe as Bronson says." She looked around herself. "We need to stick together." "Us." Patches said nothing, looked to little Hyzen, then turned his eyes to Tina. Hyzen squeezed his arm. "We must be strong now." The boy gazed down at her, and he gripped her little hand. Right, now there is a part 2 to this, so I'll read that. So, Bronson's, we can't go, Hyzen. We must prepare ourselves for the great journey. There's a cliff here. I can't fly, Hyzen. I don't think I'm going to make it, but I'll try.
As God intended.
Oh, I need to load the... Yes, there it is. Oh. Right. What next? I'll finish it. Shall I read the next part of this? It's an asterisk. You know the cubic eye, so I technically haven't finished the part. It's just from a different perspective. I don't know if you guys want to hear more of that or move on to something else, and then we can wrap up if you guys want. Yeah? But I'll do whatever you guys want. Oh, help me! I can't swim. Thank you. You saved my life.
You should start playing the Animals of Farthingwood theme song.
Yes. I did save your life, Bronx.
You shouldn't save his life, he deserves death.
Don't listen to her.
I think death is too kind, he deserves eternal torture. Looking up on the stream is fucking weird.
Right, okay. So, what's that comment? Have I burped 9 times in the stream? Is that what we're up to?
That's less than I would have pictured.
Less?
Yeah.
Trying to say, Carmen? Trying to say that I'm a filthy, disgusting, gross man?
Well, not that, but...
You say you hate me.
No.
Right, okay. Let's do a poll. Let's see who likes... Let's do a poll. Let's do a poll on Bronx. Right.
What's the poll? Do you like... No. Abso-fucking-lutely not. Whoever is saying yes, you don't know Bronx like I do. Alright?
What? You look at him.
Yeah, he has eyes on his snout. He has like 2 sets of eyes.
Yeah. He's just very happy to see you.
No, he isn't.
But then he's got these.
Bronx is ugly and I love him for it. Neon, he's just ugly. You should kill him.
Carmen, you've tried to kill him and you can't kill him. We've had him for 5 years now and Carmen has tried many times to kill him, but she can't. He's unkillable.
I want him dead. Also, I'm almost done with the Methuselah thing shirt. I'll send it to you as soon as I finish drawing Methuselah's hair.
Very well.
By done, I mean done with the line art.
Okay. So I'll read a little bit more then. When Sombra passed through his chamber door, he sniffed the air, then gazed up to the high ceiling. Above was a wooden ribcage of rafters creaking in the dark. There, in that gloom, he saw the glint of frightened eyes. With a tired sigh, he strode to his desk and sat. But the moment his antlered head turned down to his work, 3 hard knocks rattled against the door. Sombra snorted like a wild thing, then called out, "Enter!" Into the golden light came Voice Helgen, who slithered her large self across the mossy green carpet, stopping before his desk with burly arms tucked politely behind her back. "My apologies," she said sweetly, letting her long hair fall across a decorated chest. "Ah, Helgen," said Sombra, bowing his old head. "Tell me, how are you adjusting?" "Just fine, Grand Architect, just fine." Up went his heavy white brows. "Is this to be a formal meeting?" She lowered herself, meeting him eye to eye. "I shouldn't think so." He smiled. "Then you may call me Sombra." "Very well, Sombra." Helgen creased her snakish nose, then turned large blue eyes up to the rafters. There she caught a shadow skittering overhead. You have guests?" A low grumble wobbled his throat. "You've no doubt heard of those fowlers from Methuselah's hidden chamber." Ah, yes. I never heard of what became of them.
Walawa, now you know. Those that remain have been creeping about my quarters. They do wander on the outside, but they always come back in the end.
Helgen cocked her head. Why?
It seems Methuselah was most patient with these little things, kind even. But she failed to prepare them for the world as it is written, in favour of a world for which she was the sole author. Without her, their world is gone.
You're looking after them? Sombra scowled.
No. I watched them for a short while at Lockett's request. She turned them loose, but it seems they found some small comfort in my presence.
How many are there?
7. But they will soon grow hungry, and then there will be 6. They need to learn. The only way to survive here is to stand up and meet the world.
Helgen smiled, revealing white fangs. Or perhaps they are eyeing a larger meal. Sombra laughed at that.
An amusing end, if nothing else. No, I have a different theory.
He gazed up to meet the darkness.
A matured mind is a thing of metal, with all thoughts focused to a sharp, bright beam, everything set in its proper place. The mind of a youth, however, begins as water, then a sort of clay, and it glows, dimly, unfocused but open and creative. For better or worse, Methuselah has sculpted these little ones, and strong though their instincts are, their minds have taken a different shape.
His old amber eyes dropped down to the dark wooden desk.
Makes me very sad.
Helgen was staring at him. Why does it make you sad? He thought on it.
Part of me wants them to have their world. If only it did not come at the cost of mine.
His golden gaze went up to meet her again.
Look at me, Helgen. Look at my face.
Sombra raised a crooked smile that did not reach his eyes.
When I read Methuselah's words, I thought a great many things. I might have spoken them.
Then those eyes brightened.
But when Lockett came through those doors, I knew there was only one true choice. Methuselah asked too much. In the end, I'll protect the things I care about. Perhaps that is the Methuselah in me.
With a blink, he snapped to a face of deep-set focus.
My apologies. I tend to ramble.
Helgen waved her hand.
It's no trouble, Sombra. Please, what can I do for you, my dear?
She straightened. I've actually come to talk about Oliver and his department.
Yes, material.
Roger Penny has taken trade, and Oliver's department will become redundant sooner or later. I would very much like to ease the transition.
Oliver will come under Roger's thumb. That is what is going to happen. You think you can ease that transition?
Helgen's voice changed ever so slightly. Don't dissolve Oliver's department entirely, and don't give him to Roger. Give him to me. Give him to me. Oh. Sombra set his face.
Voice Helgen. The function of Roger's new branch is to bring district voices away from economy.
Then bring us away, but do not have us divorced. She placed a hand to her large, jeweled chest. I am an economist. I know trade, inside and out. And Yeshua, he is the greatest entrepreneur in the city's history. Nobody can challenge that. We can manage our fair share. Helgen was careful with her tone. We don't want the department, only a seat at the table. Grant us our fair share of delegates.
And you want Oliver Cost as your proxy?
A nod. He won't share Roger's power, but he'll work far better beneath me than him. Sombra entwined his fingers.
That I do not dispute. But why bring this to me?
I'd like it on the agenda, for court. Helgen pressed her lips together. I bring it to you because Nathaniel has not been himself of late. The Grand Architect raised both hands.
Say no more. I'll see it done.
Helgen pushed herself high on her Gorgon tail, but stopped at the sight of a creamy yellow folder on Sombra's desk. Tilting her head, she read one word aloud. Vileborn. Sombra followed her line of sight.
Ah, yes.
Is this the new report?
Amended.
She was already reaching for it. May I? He nodded.
Of course.
Fucking 10, thank you. With the pages splayed in her arms, she scanned the details, taking mental notes. This lace-maker girl, is she of interest?
Not particularly.
The Needlemeyer fire was caused by a friend of hers. She was a key witness. The amendments bring to light a bookkeeper by the name of Sally Sefton who helped locate the girl. The captain found her in Mivium. Helgen flipped a page. I don't see anything else here. Sombra shrugged.
Because there's nothing else to say.
She was an employee of Ruthergush. They were exonerated. So no, she is not of particular interest, just one of many little details. These amendments will not be published, I assume?
Certainly not.
Sombra reached out and took the papers, returning them to their proper place upon his desk. The story is the same. These amendments are for the Yolsh, for clarity's sake. That's perfectly understandable, Helgen said, smiling. I noticed the amendments were not submitted by the captain.
No, it was the Blackhall.
Her involvement was sanctioned by Voice Wexel herself. Sombra looked her up and down. If this is about Polly's tab, you needn't worry. You are not Methusa. Her relationship with Wexel was strained. There was no trust. But if you treat her with respect, she will do the same. Oh, Sombra, I'm fine, really. He laughed. Dear girl, I can see it written on your face. Wexel can be your friend if you treat her as one. Helgen smiled, weakly. Thank you. Sound advice. She glared at the folder. Could I have a copy of that?
You may. Pay a visit to Quinn. Tell him I sent you.
With a bow, Voice Helgen slithered across the long room, pulling open both doors. Sombra watched as she hesitated. Turning, she gazed up to the dark rafters, holding on something. Blinking, her eyes flicked to him, and with a gracious smile, she moved out into the hall, then closed the doors gently. Right, so there you go. Bit of politics for you there. Yes.
I sent you the Methuselah thing on Skype.
Ooh, hell yeah.
I need a...
The Maya.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll get to that.
Ignore the text on the scroll. That's just a placeholder. I'll make it look cool later.
Right. Oliver mentioned, though. So, we could do like one more. Right? Maybe two. Oh, I'll do Ludwick then. Fine. For God. Right, let's see.
All my homies love Ludwick. Anyways, I'm so happy that most of that shirt is done. There's more that I need to do, but that will happen later.
One Ludwig and one new Kiv. Okay. Fine. Oh, Mr. Wait. Fucking font size is a bit weird there. Don't know why. There we go. Ah, okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. But what? Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah. 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 Right. A bit more juice.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing's wrong with me.
Okay.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm thirsty.
You sure are.
I need a drink. Oh. Okay. Well, okay, fine. You want Bronx out of here? Is that it?
Yeah.
You want Bronx to go? Shit. He just typed on my keyboard. Type equation here. He's typed an equation. Joke's on you, he's still here. Unfortunately, I've got to get back to where I was. So sorry. Fucking hell, where was it? Fuck, there it is. Alright. No, nothing. That was a bad throw. I was trying to aim for I was looking at the camera and I threw him directly into the fucking radiator. No, I can't throw him out the window. He's alright there. That was a terrible throw. Right. Anyway, let's. So here we go. Ready? Look at the stain my chair's made on this fucking wall. Christ.
Should get new chairs at some point.
I know, Carmen. I know. But
You're mocking me.
I can't do it. Right, let me just think here. Okay, hang on. Oh god, the trouble with Ludwick is that this. Oh, there's so much that I kind of want to just keep a secret. Oh, fuck. What part? No, I can't read that one. I mean, god damn it. There's got to be one that's more. There's less. Kapalami, you know? Fuck. Give me a second, guys. Fucking hell. Okay. I'll do this. Okay. I got it. Okay. The Scarlet Cleaver. Let's do a bit of this, right? I may not read this all, but it'll be a bit of Ludwick for you to, like, fucking, hold you over for now. Alright. The soft and pale hands of Fowlerhood were gone, replaced with the coarse grip of a sailor, marked with the pattern of rope. Despite his leg, Ludwick was of great utility, more even than some of the deckhands. Ever he had studied the art, but now his body could fully perform. Little by little, respect was earned. Presently they were sailing smoothly through a wide canal, with large and ancient buildings peppering the bank at either side. At a glance they seemed abandoned, like temples of old, but upon closer inspection Ludwick spied figures rendered tiny by the distance, strolling in and out. Above was a stone ceiling so tall and grand it had a dizzying effect on the eyes. Once through, the boat came into the widest reservoir he had seen thus far. It sprawled before him like a lake of black glass. The air turned bitter cold, and in the distance, far, far away, was a blur of lights. "Bloody heck, lad," said the skipper, slapping him hard on the back. "If I knew you worked like this, I'd have taken you one for naught." "Thank you, sir. I was born on a boat." "You don't say. Well, you've earned this." Ludwick smiled as a handsome cut of bread was placed into his hands. "Thank you, sir. I'll finish it quickly. We don't eat too fancy on the Cleaver, but—" A bottle of gin was produced from the skipper's pocket. "It might go down easier with this." "It will at that. Take your time. It's smooth sailing till Rose." "Rose?" "Riverdam Rose. You know, named by Rom, or some such authority." Ludwick bowed his head. "Well, thank you, sir." Yes. Off you go." Ludwick took himself to the stern, sitting at the very edge where one could drop one's feet right into the foaming water. He sat cross-legged with food and drink in his lap, lifting the bread to his dark, dry lips. The first bite was sensational. It was the first he had eaten since the grotto. It was only now that he realized how terribly starved he had become. Feeling the food settle in his stomach, almost burned, but in a good way. Next came the drink, which was cold and bitter but warming. As the bread shrank away, his craving grew. Having now been reacquainted with the concept of food, he recalled also the torture of want. And when all was gone, with nothing left but a rag and an empty bottle, he desired nothing more than to simply forget all over again these fleeting pleasures. Sorry, fish. Yes, people are saying fish. As it happened, fortune smiled upon Ludwick in that moment, for in his desperate need for distraction, Penelope leapt from the waves like a sea lion, resting beside him with a coiled tail. So stunned was Ludwick that he choked on the last lump of bread halfway down his throat. "Penelope! I thought you left," he said, beating his chest. Penelope leaned back, relaxed. There was blood on her lips. Ludwick swallowed. "Not hungry, I take it?" A long silence enveloped them. The Dowser girl sat like a bathing reptile, watching the waves. She was more animal in that moment. There was something feral in her eyes, in the movements of her chest, expand, retract, expand, retract. A hunter stained with the blood of her prey. Ludwick could smell it, feel it, the heat. His hands were shaking, knuckles white. At last he pulled the ruined red book from his left coat pocket, resting it on his lap. "Do you have friends, Penelope?" he asked her, caressing the misshapen cover. She looked at him, toying with the edges of his coat. Then she let the black fabric slip through her fingers and stared at her palms with a wrinkled brow. It seemed as though she wanted to speak, to make him understand. Flicking her eyes back to the waves, all she could do was shrug. "Ludwick!" called the skipper. "On deck!" At that, Penelope slipped into the water like a serpent. A coppery glimmer informed Ludwig of her movements, under the boat and ahead. Where's she going? He wondered. Is she scouting? When Ludwig returned to the deck, the skipper pointed to an oncoming structure, oozing through the dark mists. Checkpoint ahead. Checkpoint, sir? At the river dam. Ludwig hobbled to the bow and looked on, mouth agape. Clear to him now was the true enormity of the obstacle, for the river dams were no trivial matter. River dam Bros stood 2 miles tall, stretching 10 across. The curved wall was built brick by brick of glossy black stone. Spread across the length of the groove were thousands of docking stations. At the centremost gates were the trawlers and cruisers, and other such vessels that were large enough to dwarf some hamlets. Around the edges, reducing in size, were the ferryboats and steamboats, with tiny wooden rafts and sloops at the very ends. Through a meticulous and near-mechanical process, each vessel was docked and inspected. Papers were exchanged, hands shaken, forms stamped and signed. Only this time, the first since the trade revolution, the Yolsch presided en masse, checking every name, every face. How long has this been going on? Ludwig asked, clutching his elbows. Since that fool Methuselah... Hang on, I need to move this tab. Yeah, I'll just full stop there. Check it. No. I'll do the dots. Okay. Gotta have some ellipsis in there somewhere. Checking every face. How long has this been going on? Ludwig asked, clutching elbows. Since that fool Methuselah popped at the end of Yeshua's chain, said the skipper. And that kerfuffle in old Frankby didn't make things any better. They're searching They're searching any and all boats. They're searching any and all boats coming in that way, trying to weed out the rest of those names. He turned, reading the panic on Ludwig's face. But don't we worry, lad. They're not interested in the likes of us. Yes, said Ludwig. I take it I take it there's no contraband on board. Someone just said this was a live stream? Yes, it was. But just check the spoilers, because, I take it there's no contraband on board. The skipper spat. What do you take me for? A pirate? Don't be daft. Aye, sir. Sorry, sir. Right, I'll leave it there. We've had a bit there. Ooh, what's going to happen? Right, and then you guys wanted one of the new ones, and then we can close the stream there. Alright, we'll do one more little teaser. Shall we? Yeah? What a fucking right. Okay, here we go. How about this? This'll wrap it all together. Right? Okay, we're gonna meet Ingrid. Right? Come back. Right? We're gonna meet Ingrid. That's what we're gonna do. Yes. Okay. So this is Chapter 8, Part 1, Ingrid. Resting on the grass were 5 books of varying thickness. Beneath the rumble of Lovart Town, Lucy Lacemaker read them all, one by one, in order of their publishing. The Steel of Old Frankby, The Travelling Circus, The Dollhouse Rulebook, The Jewel of Roxy Lake, The Rise of an Empire. It was the story of Yeshua, how he once travelled the city telling tales, creating bonds. But even in the beginning he was not alone.
2 companions had he, bound by blood. Reaver, Lucy thought. Closing the final book. Not a word on her. Erased from history. What happened? Who is she? Lucy opened her notebook and scribbled down 3 things, saying them in her mind. History, rivalry, relationship. When the ink was dried, she gathered her things and stood. She shut her eyes, listening to the tweeting songs of flowers comma. Oh, there is a comma. There's a stain on my screen. Okay. The sparkle of light. Time to get back. Retracing her steps, Lucy left the hidden garden, finding her way to the surface of Lovart. By the docks, in fact. Turning west, she found her way... Why is that a new paragraph? Turning west, she found her way to Hallow Street, following the river down to the door of her ink house. Waiting by the door was a shape she did not recognise. It was a female who stood at 12 feet like a tall, hunched Highland cow. Her face was that of a great bovid, with tusks at either side of her mouth and a pink, piggish nose. The ears were long and flopped, and the horns curved like crescent moons. Her fur was scruffy and ginger, but her mane was long and scarlet red, hiding her eyes with a tatty bowl fringe. Over her front she wore an old brown leather vest, and below was a pair of baggy grey trousers lined with pockets. A large black belt hung at her waist, adorned with various tools and instruments. The failing belt exposed a fluffy white underbelly, which was decorated with a wild growth of gower hair climbing to the first navel like the peak of a red mountain. Her tail was long and thin, like a whip, tipped with a rose-red tuft. Lucy's eyes were faster than her nose, but when she clocked the thick bodily musk, she winced, grinding to a halt. "Are you lost?" she said, gazing up at the stranger. The stranger was looking into the ink-house, pressing her nose against the glass. 33D crack-barrel steamer, she said in a voice that was shockingly soft. Looks about ready to blow. Excuse me, Lucy waved her hand. You here to trade? There's no papers ready. You'll have to come back another time, old love. The stranger turned and snorted. Do I look like a trader? You sound like a steel worker. Close. A mechanic. A mechanic? Lucy glanced through the window, and there was the shape of the printing machine. Are you here for work? Ingrid, said Ingrid, placing a hand to her busty chest. I heard about you. Lucy went up on her toes. You read my paper? Don't read. Oh. You can read though, right? I can, I just don't. Ingrid made a fist and tapped her forehead. Dumb as a rock. Lucy scratched her neck, reviewing the shape, the voice, the posture. Not a whiff of deceit, not even sarcasm. But I can't see her eyes. She pulled the keys from her pocket and opened the ink-house doors. Come take a look. Ingrid followed like a thuggish minotaur, and upon reaching the machine she sniffed it like prey. Been making a racket? Like a thump, thump, thump. Lucy nodded rapidly. Yeah. How'd you know that? Well, you've set her up all wrong for a start. No ventilation, and some of these cogs are older than me, wah. She turned back to Lacemaker. Congratulations, you've built a bomb. Can you fix it? She's not broken. You've just got the wrong setup. Ingrid went to her knees, drawing a long metal ruler from her belt like a dagger. If I do this, I get the job, she said. She turned back to Lucy with a smile. Eh? The editor offered her hand. Aye. The mechanic spat into her large palm and shook her little hand with a squelch. Lucy stepped away, flicking spittle to the floor. I'll be upstairs then. No paper? Said Ingrid. New paper. New paper? Said Ingrid, measuring the components. Yeah. Who do you think did it then? Lucy cocked her head. Did what?
That's what you knew. That's what your paper's about, right? The killing. What killing? Ingrid turned and pointed with the ruler. Just up the road. I thought that's where you'd been. Where you'd been. Need to work on the accent. Lucy blinked, then gasped, then sprinted for the door. Now, what I can do here is I could probably. No, I think that's all right. But anyway, that's Ingrid. Well, I suppose I could fast forward a bit. We could get a little bit more of Ingrid, and then end the stream. All right, should we do that? Yeah. Okay. Let's fast forward. Upon completion, Lacemaker stretched, thinking, time to print. Her body ached. No time to rest. Okay. Need to print. Need to print. Her body ached. No time to rest. I have to print before the black. Below, she heard the printing machine. The printing machine Oh. Yeah, she heard the printing machine rumbling to life, a healthy heartbeat. She thought of her last paper, the aches and burns. Lucy glanced to all 10 pages drying on a rack by the windowed wall. Let's get it done. Lucy carried all 10 pages in both hands down to the ground floor. Waiting there was Ingrid, tapping the pressure gauge, oiling the gears. Sounds quieter now, said Lucy, announcing herself. Aye, nice and healthy purr, said Ingrid, presenting her work. You'll still need ventilation, but I can sort that down the line. Lucy sat at the old bar top, slamming down her papers. Thank you so much. And you're just in time. Ingrid joined her, uncorking a bottle of gin. Well, if you want me, I'm yours. She poured Lucy a glass, then drank straight from the bottle. Lucy took a swig, studying. Thank you, Ingrid. And yes, I want you. Pick any room, it's yours. Ask anything of me, it's yours. Just keep that machine alive. Keep that machine alive. The mechanic nodded. Don't worry, boss. You leave it with me. The editor leaned back, relaxing. Where are you from? I'm from a village on the south side of the Glaze. Lived on the outskirts for a time. I, in fact, used to work there. Fixing stuff? No, I'm a big dumb brew. My job was to clear the wee passages, making big rocks into little rocks. But you see, we had no mining equipment, and when it died, it took an age for the city to send someone our way. You didn't have one on site? No, we were only a wee village, trading ores and minerals with the city folk. We traded for the machines, learnt to work them, but fixing them was something else. Anyways, I had a crack at it, and I was a daft hand. I suppose it just made sense to me. So, what brought you to the city? Oh, life was slow. We'd always tell stories of the underbirth, the great black sphere at the centre of it all. I wanted to go and have a look. Where have you been so far? All over the place, really, but never could settle. Why not? Ingrid scratched her chest. Truth be told, I'm a bit of a slob. A lot of these city trades, they want the sophistication, not just the skill. We're not a dollhouse, said Lacemaker, drinking again. As long as we get the job done and done right, we'll make it. I quite agree. Ingrid stood, taking the stack of papers from the desk. Would you like me to print this? Lucy blinked, stunned. You mean, you print it? Aye, that's my job, Miss Lacemaker. Stumbling to her feet now. You know how to work it? I've got all the keys polished and ready to go. Aren't you tired? Not half as tired as you seem to be. But your EIP, we'll sort it when you wake. Lucy's lip was wobbling. Ingrid, thank you, I mean it. Go have a dream, boss. On her way up the stairs, Lucy peered through the bars of the banister, watching Ingrid assemble and clamp the keys. Her paper, ready to be inked, printed, distributed. Everything seemed so much clearer and possible. Upon entering her chamber, she stripped naked, tossing clothes to the floor, then collapsed into the den. Within a tick, she was snoring, dreaming of a stony village to the south. Right, well there you go. There's a bit of Ingrid. Lucy's first employee. Ingrid or Bronx, guys? Let's do a poll. Should we do a poll? Engage with your audience. Start a poll. How do I... Oh, I've got to end the last one. Ingrid or Bronx, boys?
Ingrid. It's no contest.
Ingrid. 94%, there you go. Which one of you? Well, there you go. Right, so there you go. Right, so we've done some extracts. I hope you're all excited for Wonderlust. It is what I've been reading you is all from like the first act, basically the first like 9 chapters. The book is 42 chapters. It is a big fucking book. It will be finished this year. I can't say if it will be published this year. Definitely early next year though. It just depends. It's in the lap of the gods when it comes to like publishing times and how long it takes to actually assemble and get everything ready. But I'll do my part this year. Definitely, I'll get it all done.
I'm doing my part.
Yeah. Jolly Jerry, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the stream. See you at Core Element. What's your favourite liquor? Favourite liquor? Oh god. Liquor's the stuff that you put juice with, right?
We drink rum.
Actually, I think I had rum. Yeah, that was yeah. I think rum's the coolest. That's what I based. I mean, I don't drink, but like
I mean, I drink occasionally.
well, yeah, occasionally. I think rum was nice. That's what I based Grin off, anyway. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Yes. I hope you're all excited for Wonderlust as well. Because I am. Plenty of new characters, loads of new things, and also, as you can tell with the extracts that I read, Amygdala isn't just forgotten. It's not like, oh, time for a new story. It's like, actually fucking all entwined and entangled and tight, and things are being brought back up. New things are opening up. So it's gonna be big, Right, I will. I'll bid you guys a good evening, a good night. Thank you all so much for being here. I'll try and do more of these. I will do more Patreon stuff soon. I promise. I've just had the year has been fucking a lot so far. Yeah. So I'll do what I can. But I am writing a lot. That's picked up. So, right. I'll bid you a good night. Chill out, right? Everyone voted for the big cow lady. So there you go. And we'll do her illustration soon, actually, as a thing, because since
I want to do Bamforth and Whitaker.
Bamforth and Whitaker as well. Yeah. Good night, guys. I'll leave you there. Leave you there. What have I just?